The other day when I did my Russell Westbrook story, I said that I wasn't going to remake a predictions video for the NBA season. But after thinking about it, there were a lot of trades that went down. And I went back and looked at all my predictions from that original video back when the season first started. And after looking at that, I have to remix this thing. I have to shake things up because there were a lot of shakeups. So we gonna do a another predictions video. All-Star break ended. Games pick back up this Thursday. And you know that there are just things that I did not anticipate. Of course, things are subject to change. But that there are things that I did not anticipate, and one of the main things being the Golden State Warriors being just 29-29, because I had them as the top seed in the West. And after mapping out what it is I want to do, my predictions, I have a whole new take on the Golden State Warriors. A whole new take. A risky take, but when I was predicting things out, that's just where I saw them. That's just where I saw them. Also, you got Sacramento. Didn't see this coming. They are currently the 3 seed. KD and Kyrie going from Brooklyn, mainly the West, you know what I'm saying? Mainly the West being as bad as it has been. That's a big part of the remix. But those two players, KD and Kyrie, are now, in the West. So expect things to change in that regard. Things are about to change and things are about to get real interesting. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. We're going to start things off in the East. We're going out East, and then we're going to head back West and see how things unfold. And, also other news that broke. The Atlanta Hawks doesn't make much of an impact on my predictions, but the Atlanta Hawks dismissed Nate McMillan. Interesting to see why that happened. Interested to see how that happened, why that happened. Another team is not, they're mediocre. They're, I think in that play-in spot, they're just, come on, man, the East is stacked. The East is stacked. What's the expectations there? Again, I don't know what happened, but what's the expectations there in Atlanta? But we'll see what happens with that situation. But getting to the East now, getting to the Eastern Conference, let's go out East, kick things off. Originally, I had the Sixers as the 1 seed. I had Boston as the 2 seed, Bucks 3, Nets 4, Heat 5, Cavs 6, Bulls 7, Raptors 8. That was my original. And the play-in, I had Bulls versus Raptors, Bulls beating the Raptors, Hawks beating the Pistons. I had the Pistons as a play-in team, but that ain't happening. And I had the Hawks taking the 8 seed against the Raptors in the play-in game, in the play-in tournament. But anyway, let's just get into what we think now. You guys can refer back to that video. Again, my original predictions. But this time around, I have the Boston Celtics holding on to that 1 seed by the time the season ends. I'm going to take Philly to be the 2 seed over the Bucks. I got Milwaukee at the 3 seed. In my original standings, I had Milwaukee as the 3 seed also. So my top 3, I still have the same teams in the top 3. It's just Philly has moved down to the 2 seed. I got the Cavs as the 4 seed, which was originally Brooklyn. I have the Heat climbing back to get the 5 seed. The Knicks, who I didn't even have in the play-in tournament, during the original prediction video. I have them finishing as the 6th seed. I have Brooklyn getting the 7th seed. The Raptors will be the 8th seed. It's still something about the Raptors that I like. So I got the Raptors as my 8th seed. And 9 and 10 play-in teams, I'm going to take the Atlanta Hawks as the 9 seed. And I'm going to take the Washington Wizards to get that 10th spot. That spot is currently open. You still got teams like the Pacers. Don't sleep on Orlando, who beat Boston 3 times in 4 meetings this season. We'll see what happens there, though. But play-in prediction. I am going to take the Atlanta Hawks to beat the Washington Wizards in that 9-10 playoff game. I'm taking the Brooklyn Nets to beat the Toronto Raptors in the 7-8 play-in game. And I'm going to take the Atlanta Hawks to still get into the playoffs by beating the Toronto Raptors in the 9-8 play-in game for that 8th and final spot. So the Raptors will move out of that 8th spot, and that will go to the Atlanta Hawks. So I'm taking the Hawks to still make it to the playoffs. But first round of the playoffs, it won't fare well for them because I'm going to take the Boston Celtics to sweep them out of the playoffs once the first round starts. I'm taking the Philadelphia 76ers to beat the Brooklyn Nets 4-2. Yes, I think Brooklyn can take 2 games off Philly because it's Philly, it's Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid, and Doc is liable to scare you. They may just go up 3-0 and Brooklyn win the next 2, and then they're in a position to try and force a game 7. So, but I'm still taking Philly to win this one in 6. Taking Milwaukee to beat the Knicks in 5. They're just a better team. Milwaukee is no pushover, and they will not be a surprise if they were to come out of the East because we know what they're capable of. I'm thinking Cleveland to beat Miami in 5. I think, Miami is not the same as they were last year. Of course, they were Jimmy Butler 3 from going into overtime and possibly getting to the NBA Finals. But I think, we've seen some slippage this year, and I think a lot of things are going to change in Miami next year. Maybe some trades. I think Joel Embiid, if things don't work out, he may be playing with Jimmy Butler in Miami. So we'll see. But I'm going to take them to push Cleveland to the brink, and I'm going to take Cleveland to win this one in 7. So Cleveland 4-3 in the first round. And we're just going to do like we did last time, all of the Eastern Conference, and then make our way out west. In the second round, I'm taking Boston to beat Cleveland in 6, 4-2. I'm going to take the Celtics in that one. I think they just have a little bit more experience than the Cavaliers. It'll be just like old times, though. Boston versus Cleveland. And I'm taking Philadelphia. I'm taking Philly to finally make it out of the second round. And I'm taking them to beat the Milwaukee Bucks in 7. I don't think Chris Middleton will get back to where he needs to be at any point this season. And I think that's going to be the reason that Milwaukee falls. So I'm taking Philly to finally make it out of the second round and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, where I predict them to beat the Boston Celtics. Not only will they make it out of the second round, but they will also get over that hump of Boston, and they will knock Boston out of the playoffs in 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals to advance to the NBA Finals. And I originally had Philadelphia, beating Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals, but I'm changing that to Boston now. I got Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals, beating the Boston Celtics 4-3. Those are my Eastern Conference picks, and now we can make our way out west where things have been shaken up drastically, dramatically, fashionably, whatever you want to call it. Use any adjective you want. But things has been shaken up in the West. In the Western Conference, like I said, a lot has changed. I know I told you guys to refer back to the old video and still do so, but originally I had, let's take a look here. Originally, I had the Warriors as the 1 seed, Grizzlies as the 2, Clippers 3, Suns 4, Pelicans 5, Wolves 6, Mavericks 7, Nuggets 8. And my play-in teams, I had the They did it again. Stop moving my stuff over there. I had the Nuggets beating the Mavericks, Lakers beating the Jazz, and Lakers beating the Mavericks to get in. So I didn't even have Dallas in the playoffs. But let's now shake things up here out west, where things have already been shaken up here out west. 1 seed, I'm gonna take the Denver Nuggets to hold on to that 1 seed. I think they'll maintain it, but we're gonna see what their fate, what I have them doing in the playoffs. I'm gonna take the Clippers to be the 2 seed. They're coming back up there in the standings, and they're getting Russell Westbrook, which, like if you heard my video yesterday, is a much better fit in LA as a Clipper than he was with the Lakers. So I'm taking the Clippers to be the 2 seed. Suns, KD coming back. They're going to be the 3 seed. Give me Grizzlies at 4, who are currently 2, but they will drop all the way to 4. And yes, surprise, surprise, surprise. Listen. This team is all out of excuses. Even before the trades, like I said yesterday, if you have LeBron and AD, that roster is not Kobe at the end of his career bad. That Laker roster. You are still supposed to make the playoffs. And you were not even in position to make the play-in. Well, you were in position, but you were not even currently you're not even a play-in team. You're 13th, 2 spots from being dead last, which you won't because the Spurs and the Rockets are just that bad. So I look at the West, I see where the Lakers are at 13, and I look at, the teams that are above them, like Sacramento, they don't have much separation. There's no more excuses for the Lakers. LeBron said these are the most important games in this second half in his career. There are no excuses for the Lakers. They will be the 5 seed. They will be the 5 seed. You have AD and LeBron. You will be the 5 seed. I don't want to hear nothing from no media people whatsoever. No excuses why this team is not a playoff team. They will be the 5 seed. Like I said, man, when it comes to the Lakers, you spend more time talking about them. They could be a video in themselves. So Mavericks will be the 6th seed. Kings will drop all the way down to 7. Man, a lot of people are going to be mad at me. Pelicans will come back up and get that 8th spot. They, one point of the season, I think they had lost 11 in a row, and they beat the Lakers to snap that streak. So they will be the 18. 9th will be the Timberwolves, and I told y'all about the Warriors. I think they will finish as number 10. They'll still make the play-in. Damn, that's tough. It's tough for me to do this, but when I was looking at it and just imagining what will unfold, this is where I have the Warriors. I think part of the Pelicans being the 8th team is because of Zion's injury. I think that's just going to hinder them. And the Warriors, because of Steph, I think they just won't recover in time to get what they would legitimately be had it not been for the injuries. But they are just a terrible road team. They are terrible on the road. Getting to the play-in. Warriors will beat the Timberwolves in the 9 versus 10 play-in matchup. Give me Golden State over Minnesota. Minnesota gave up way too much for Rudy Gobert. Way too much, especially if my predictions hold up. Because this means that they're not even a playoff team. Give me Pelicans. Give me Kings over Pelicans. Yeah, give me Kings over Pelicans in the 7 versus 8. And then I will take the Pelicans to beat the Warriors in 8 versus 10. I'm taking the Pelicans to beat the Golden State Warriors and knock them out of the playoffs. And I just like to add, if they do that, if this happens, y'all gonna don't at me in the comments, but if with this Warriors prediction, but if this happens, the Warriors streak will still live because play-in is not playoffs. And the last time the Warriors lost in the playoffs to a Western Conference team, you got to go all the way back 9 years ago to 2014 when the Clippers beat them in the first round in 7 games. And we know what the Warriors went on to do after that. So the streak will still be alive. They will be yet to lose to a Western Conference team in the playoffs. But this is what I have them doing after this season that's just been a mixed bag for them. I don't have them in the playoffs, and I know that that's a tough thing to bet against, but that's what I have them at. Anyway, in the first round of the playoffs, upset alert. We once saw, I think, what was it, in the early 90s, somewhere in 93, where was it the Nuggets that beat the Supersonics as the 8 seed over the 1? We also had the lockout season where the 50-game lockout season where the Heat where the Knicks beat the Heat in 99. And then we had, of course, the most famous one that gets talked about more. 8 seed Warriors beat the 1 seed Mavericks in 2007. And then in 2011, you had 8 seeded Grizzlies knocked off the 1 seeded Spurs. And then the following year in 2012, you had 8 seeded Sixers knocked out in a short season as well, knocked out the 1 seeded Chicago Bulls. And of course, any Bulls fans are listening and are still salty about that, I will add that yes, Derrick Rose did get injured that season. But you've had it happen, what was it, 5 times? And I think it's going to happen a 6th time because I got the New Orleans Pelicans beating the Denver Nuggets in the first round. I do not buy Denver. I think by the time we get to this point of the season, the Pelicans will be good and rested and ready to go. They will have their pieces back. They're not a legit 8 seed like they were last year, and they still had fight in them last season against Phoenix. But I have the Pelicans knocking off the Nuggets in the first round of the playoffs in 7 games. It'll take 7, but they'll do it. Clippers over Kings in the first round, 4-1. Sacramento will be back in the playoffs for the first time since 2006. How old was I in 2006? I turned 15 in December. So I was 14 the last time the Kings made it to the playoffs. I was 14 years old. But the Kings will be back in. They will get that Game 3 win over the Clippers in Sacramento, where the crowd will no doubt be rocking. They will be rocking for that game. And I'm out here in Sac. So I'm going to try to make that game. Unless majority of the people here see this video. And I'm not going to that game because they're going to be at me. But I got the Clippers beating the Kings 4-1. Give me Phoenix over Dallas. Kyrie versus KD in the first round. But I'm taking Phoenix over Dallas 4-2 in the first round of the playoffs. Give me Phoenix over Dallas. Ooh, that's going to be a fun series. See, the West, even though the East is better right now, the West is still always the most exciting conference. It's always the most drama-filled conference. Just like this one right here, Lakers versus Grizzlies. Look, Memphis. I don't like Memphis' inability to close games. I saw them against the Lakers and I saw them against the Warriors. In those 2 games, I really soured on them. I really thought they would have been grown by now, not in terms of being a championship team. But I still don't see it. And again, the Lakers, you have enough to make it out of the first round. At least the first round. So give me Lakers over Grizzlies 4-3. It will take 7. But give me Lakers in this series in the first round to beat the Memphis Grizzlies. Lakers, they're going to make the playoffs. There's no way the Lakers are missing the playoffs. And when they do, they're going to beat Memphis in the first round. Or whoever they play in the first round. But this is who they'll play in the first round because I said so. So give me Lakers over Memphis, 4-3. Second round, I'll take Clippers over Phoenix. Kawhi versus KD, Booker. You know what I'm saying? Paul George, Kawhi, Russ. versus Ayton, Chris Paul, KD, Booker. I just said Booker, right? KD, Booker, Ayton, CP3. Give me the Clippers. And the reason I'm on the Clippers is because I'm tired of hearing all this stuff about the Clippers. Get healthy. Yes, you've dominated the Lakers over the past 10, 11, 12 years, but you haven't won a ring. When? When are you going to win? So, barring no key injuries to either team, give me Clippers in this series in 7 games. 5-seeded Lakers versus 8-seeded Pelicans. Give me Lakers. I think the Lakers match up well against the Pelicans. I think they are the better team. So give me Lakers 4-2. I don't think this one reaches 7, but I do think, whatever, game 6 will be close, but in the series, give me Lakers 4-2. And then we will finally get our Battle of Los Angeles Conference Finals win, if whatever my predictions hold up. We will get it. We will get the Los Angeles Clippers 2-seeded versus the 5th-seeded LA Lakers. Russell Westbrook can get some get back for everything they put him through in LA. The Lakers side of LA, that is. Give me Clippers over my Lakers 4-2. I know what you're thinking. Re-report. You're not a real Laker fan. How could you pick your team to make it all the way to the conference finals and then say they're going to lose? You might as well go all the way at that point like you did with the Panthers. Nah, I'm partial. I'm objective. I'm fair. Clippers are the better team. Kawhi Leonard is the better player, is the best player, will be the best player on that court if these two teams match up. They wake up to play the Lakers. That's just the way it is. If they can just get there, they will win. If they can just get there. I'm taking the Clippers 4-2 in this series, and that means in the NBA Finals, it is my original finals prediction before the season started. Clippers versus Sixers in the NBA Finals. I am picking Russell Westbrook to win a ring. I'm picking Kawhi Leonard to win his 2nd ring. Paul George will win his 1st ring. Tyronn Lue will win his 2nd ring. It'll be so that if that Western Conference, man, the stories that's going to happen in that match if that happens. But give me Clippers over Philly. Philly will get there, but the Clippers will prevail. Clippers 4-2. Those are my predictions. I'm about to rush out of here so you guys don't throw tomatoes and stuff at me because of the things I've said, but I really do believe it is not trolling. It's not any of that. This is just the way I see it playing out, and we will see, because like I said, this second half of the season goes by really fast. The playoffs are going to be here in about 50, 60 days, 2 months. Playoffs are about to be here. It goes by fast. All-Star weekend is over. The Lakers are going to make the playoffs. There's no way they're missing the playoffs. Those are my predictions. Appreciate y'all for hearing me out. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, but be easy on me in the comments. Warrior fans, Kings fans, all y'all be easy on me. Never mind. Do what you do. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.